Hello everyone, how are you? I hope that you are at your home and doing your studies very good. During a lockdown period, we don't have to move out and be safe, be at your home. Now let us start new thing in your NumPy arrays. In last lecture, I told you up to the concatenation. Now here is one thing, obtaining subsets of array. Obtaining subsets of array means you can extract the subsets from an existing array in a contiguous manner or non-contiguous manner. So what does it mean? It does mean array subset may be contiguous if all the extract elements lie next to one another in original array, or non-contiguous if the extracted elements don't lie next to one another in the original array. For this we have two functions, you can say three. One is your split, then S split, H split and V split. So now let us start from the H split. H split means horizontal. So you can use H split function to extract the subset of a NumPy array after splitting it horizontally. Means if there is any existing array and you want to use H split, then it will make sections in horizontal way. How it is possible? We also take the example for that, but by this figure you can understand. Suppose that is an array, and when you use the H split, then what happens? It will divide it into this type of slices. These will individual arrays, means from a combined array it makes a slices. Okay, so now just start to take with an example. Here is an example. That is the example. Suppose that we have, for using H split, we have created an array. Array is equal to np dot arrange 24. We are going to create element 24 elements array. Dot reshape 4 comma 6. Again we are doing the reshape by using 4 comma 6, means 4 rows and 6 columns. So we have 24 elements, and now the array looks like this. You can easily see it. 0 1 2 3 4 5 in first row, then in second row 6 7 8 9 10 11, third row 12 13 14 15 16 17, next row 18 19 20 21 22 23, and also put the, so here you say that 4 elements in vertical axis, means in this way, and 6 elements in horizontal axis. These are the 6 elements. Now if you are applying the horizontal split function np dot h split, and that is the name of that array, you can say that the array name is this. So now we are using np dot h split, horizontal split array comma 2, means we want to create a subset of this array in two equal parts. So for horizontally, what will be the output will come? The output will come in this manner here, because you can assume that from this place it divided into two parts horizontally. So if you use the horizontal split, then it will divide in two equal parts in this manner. You have given here array of 2. So 2. Suppose that you want to divide it into 3 equal part, it is possible, because 6 element to 6 element can be divided into equally in 2 part. So what you have to write? You have to write np dot h split array comma 3. So what it does? Now that is the original array. Now it divide into 2, then 2 and then 2. So 2 2 2 6, and the output will come in this manner. Clear? So that is the horizontal split. By using H split, you can divide any existing array horizontally. horizontally in this manner. Now see what happens in V split. In vertical split it will divide in this manner, and for vertical split you have to use the function V split. V split function is used for vertical splitting the any existing array, and it will divide in this manner. Now see with a practical example. So now again we are going to take another example, that is for vertical split, and V split means works identically as H split, means similarly it works with H split, but identically means just in reverse order. What it does, it divides the array subset on vertical axis. As I told you, there are two type of axis. This one is your vertical axis and this one is your horizontal axis. Okay, so now it divides according to vertical axis because we are using V split. So in the same example that we have taken, now if you divide np dot V split array comma 2. So how it divides? It divides into two segments in that array, and suppose that that is the original array. It will divide from the middle in this manner, from this place. Okay, that is the splitting by V split. Then we get this portion and this portion. Okay, and here one more thing is, suppose that you want to divide it any other number apart from 2, then it is not possible. Why? Because 1 2 3 4, okay, in vertically we have only 4 elements, and those 4 elements can't be divided apart from 2 in equal mode, because if you select 3 then there must be 6 element. If you select 2, that is possible here because 2 to 4, but for 3 that is not possible because one pair will come with 3 but another also needs 3. So what left? Only 1 is left. So that is not possible in V split. So you have to remember that any value other than 2 represent error in this array. Okay. Now the next one is your split function. Okay, the split function is a general for function using which you can split a NumPy array both vertically and horizontally. But how you identify between vertically and horizontally? By giving the axis value. If you have given axis is equal to 0, then that is for the horizontal, and if you have given axis is equal to 1, then that is for. So how it works? It is clear. So now one thing is also here, that it allows you to divide array into equal as well as non-equal subarray. Means by using this you can divide the array in equal or non-equal also. Now take one example. Suppose that you want to divide that is an one dimension array, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that is one dimension array, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many elements are there? 10 elements. Now we are applying np.split array 2, 6. So see how we divide the array. 2, 6 means in this manner. When you give 2, 6, then 2 and 6, the first subset is index 0 to index 2, and the second subset is index 2 to index 6, and the third is 6 onwards. Okay, so just take it here in this example. It may be little bit clear. Suppose that you want then create an indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 9 is up to indexing. Here np.split array 1, that is for one dimension, 2, 6. So 0 to 2. 0 to 2 means less than 1. So 0 to 2 means 0 index and 1 index. So we will get a pair of this subset 10 and 11. And 2 to 6. 2 to 6 means index 2 to 5. Then we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then 6 onwards means index 6 from 16, 17, 18, 19. In this manner it will divide. That is for one dimension array. np.split array 1, 2. So that is for one dimensional splitting, and second is 2 dimension. In 2 dimension, suppose that that is the array. Here it is an array. It has 6 columns and 4 rows. Now you are giving np.split array, that is the name of this array, np.split array 1, 4. See what is going on here. 1, 4, then it will divide 1, 4, then 0 to 1, 1 to 4 and 4 onwards. The 3 subsets are here, 0 to 1, 1 to 4 and 4 onwards. And here you can see it will divide in this manner. That is the first 0 row, 0 to 1, then these 3, 1 to 4 and 4, and the output will come in this manner. For 0 to 1, for 1 to 4 and 4 onwards, that is an empty array. So why it is happening? That is not a equal manner, that is unequal manner. So if we are not using axis is equal to 0 or axis is equal to 1 with split, then it divides in this unequal manner. But if you want to divide or create the subset of any existing array in equal manner, then we have to use axis is equal to 0 and x also. Now come to extracting condition based non-contiguous subset. Means you have to extract a subset from any existing array on the behalf of some particular condition. So here we are using the function extract, np.extract. Within bracket there is a condition and comma array, of course, upon which you have to get the value. So how the condition will run? Any condition can be defined in individual manner. For extract you can also put the condition inside it, but it's a good practice to create the condition outside it. So suppose that condition is equal to np.mode array 5 is equal to 0. So what it does? It checks all elements in that array whether it is divided by 5 and remainder is 0, So only in that situation where the remainder is 0, it will display that element or stack that element, and rest of the element filtered from that condition. Now check by using with an example how it is possible. So that is the array on the behalf of which we are going to check the condition. It has 6 columns and 4 rows, total 24 elements, and that is the name of that array, that is array. Now if we check the condition individually, actually each condition returns the result in boolean form, either true or false. So if you want to, here is the condition is equal to np.mode array comma 5 is equal to 0. That is the individual condition. And if you want to see the output of only this condition, we are not using the stack function, but if you run this condition, if you run only this condition after creating this array, you only run this condition, then what result will you see? You will see in this manner. You will see the true only that place where it's satisfied, means where the remainder is 0 you will get the true, and rest of the place you see the false. Here you will get the true. Why? Because here is 5. Again you get the true here because that is the multiple of 10, and again you get that is the multiple of 10, that is the multiple of 5. So here 5 0 remainder. When value is 0, then you will get the remainder 0. When 5, then you get the 0. When 10, then 10 easily divided by the 5, because each element of array is divisible by 5 and remainder is 0, then it is executed true. So you will see the true at this place, here, and of course here, and in first place. So that is the conditional output for only this condition. But when you put this condition in this command, means you want to print np.distract within bracket condition comma array, then you will get the result in this manner. So only that element will be displayed in the output which fulfill this condition. Clear? Here is a list of few functions that are used for forming the condition. Sin x, cos x. X means the argument that you have passed. Sin, cos, tan, and other trigonometric functions. So here how you use it? Condition is equal to np.sin. Array means the particular array that you want to pass in this condition for sin as an argument greater than 0.25. So all the elements of that array get passed, and the sign value of that particular element is calculated, and if that value comes greater than 0.25, then you see the true result, otherwise you see the false result. And as I told in previous example, you can also see the, if you only see the output of this condition by passing that array, then you will see true and false. But if you use extract function, then where you find the true, only that element will be displayed from that array as a subset. So these all are the functions that we can use around RINT, fix, floor, seal, truncate. Okay, so these all functions are already known by you. You have used in MS Excel also. Okay, now exponent, log, natural log, anti-log. Then here are few functions that you have to know. These are also useful for arithmetic operations in NumPy arrays. So again next we are going to discuss on that NumPy array operations. So here is add x comma n. X comma n means x is the element of array that you have passed, and n is the number that you want to add. So here add n to all elements of array. Multiply that particular given number n with all element of the array. Divide the all element of array with this given value. That is the 10 to the power value. 2 to the power value means x to the power n. Suppose that your array element is 2 and here you have given 3, then the value of that particular place array element becomes 8. 2 2 2 2 into 2 into 2. Subtract, the particular number will be subtracted from all the elements from the array. Mod, you have already seen in that previous example. Find the remainder. Here return element wise remainder of division, return element wise remainder of division, both are same. Don't get confused, either you can use mod xn or you can use remainder, both have same function. Then sqrt, suppose that you have passed any element, then it will print the square root value of that. Suppose that here is 144, then what result you will get? 12. Here returns the cube root of an array element wise. Square of that value, absolute of that value, it means whether the value is plus or minus, it always show it plus. Then absolute value, compute the absolute value of element wise. So these all are the functions that you can use for forming a condition as well as for arithmetic operations. Now here are some examples of array arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations or vector operations on 2D array. So by using operators you can do this, means you can directly use operators plus minus into divide and percentage. You can also use conventional operators as you know about them. Suppose that is an array plus n. N means a number of element that you, suppose that you have written here is an array. Suppose that is an array already given. Assume that is array. So you have written in this manner, print array plus 3 in this manner. Here that is the arithmetic sign for plus, and you have written array plus 3. Then what happens? All the elements, suppose that here initially 0, then now what becomes here? 3, here 4, here 5, here 6, here 7, here 8, here 9, here 10, here 11, and so on. Means each element of this array increased by adding 3 in all the elements. So that is the arithmetic operation that can be done only in NumPy arrays in this manner. Similarly, you want to subtract, then you can use minus sign. You want to multiply, then you can into sign. If you want to divide, then you can use this sign. If you want to remainder, then you can use modulus operator sign. And the same can be done, you can also use the signs for doing operations, or you can also use the functions for doing operations. For example, numpy.add. So suppose that in this example you want to use in that manner, then you can write np.add array comma 3. That will result in the same manner, that result here. Print array plus 3, that is same as here you have used the function np.add, add is the function, then within bracket array comma 3. So that will work in the same manner as you have given here. Here is an example of doing these arithmetic operations. Suppose that here is an array, that is the array. Now you have given array plus 1.5. Then you can see here that all the elements values get increased by 1.5. Means previously the array is in this manner, now the element becomes in this manner. How? Because 0 plus 1.5 becomes 1.5, 1 plus 1.5 becomes 2.5 and so on. And the same will here also. Here you have written. You can also store the values. Suppose that here you are making the change and the change is going in the original array. Clear? Man, that is the original array, and when you do this, then the original array elements gets changed. Suppose that you can perform arithmetic operations on an ND array with a scalar value or with another ND array. Here you want to store the value in some new array. So new is equal to array plus 2.1. So what will happen? Some other operations. Some other operations that you have performed in this manner. Suppose that is an array, that is your new array. Here with this scalar value, suppose that you want to add 0.3, then both are the method here. You can also write in this manner, in conventional manner, array plus 0.3, or by using function you can write in this manner, np dot add array comma 0.3. Similarly, you want to subtract, you can also write in this manner, or you can also write in this manner, np dot subtract array comma 6. Then each element, from each element 6 will be subtracted. Both are same. You can either use this, you can either use function, or you can also use direct arithmetic symbol. Okay. For divide, either you can use in this manner, either you can use in this manner, both are same. For modulus operator, either you can use in this manner, either you can use in this manner, both are same. Here you can use mod also. Mod and remainder both are same. The np dot mod array comma 4, that is same. np dot remainder array comma 4, that is same, and array %4, that is also same. Similarly, okay, so you can do any type of arithmetic operations by using functions as well as direct the arithmetic operator with the array. So today is sufficient for lecture. Next day we discuss about the remaining things in your NumPy array. Till then, bye. Have a good day.